YouTube and the Google support there for getting that back because it was my fault. Yeah, it was my fault that it got messed up with my Twitter fingers. But they showed me like what's going on when that happens, so that won't happen again because it is an accident. I'm not getting rid of these live streams, and I know everybody can't see it live, so I know that's incredibly annoying. So that's good. So y'all want to check that out? Check out that stream. Also, as far as shout out to Steph It's Cold, gave me that $100 super chat. Y'all that always like to act like these dudes don't make themselves. It ain't even about the super chat. For all y'all to act like these dudes like go to the suburbs and stay get brand new on people. I've always maintained that doesn't happen to the extent that a lot of folks think. It's just these people are not gonna necessarily be in like they ain't always gonna want to be seen, and that is what that is, right? So anyway, and I've always said that. So that's that. So much appreciated. Now I got some thoughts. So I was on Bernard Riley's thing, and Lil Big Nate was headlining it, and I'll say this. One thing that people have to understand is just because you say something on your platform don't mean everybody doesn't watch every platform. This has nothing to do with like certain people are better than others. There's a lot of YouTube. There's a lot of people that I've always talked about that I don't listen to like that anymore because a lot of what they said, I've heard all they need to say. Like even like Jason Black. I'm not really subscribed to Jason Black right now. Tarina Sheed. I haven't listened to Tarina Sheed in a minute. It has nothing to do with them being bad. Damn, you know what? I think it's just that sometimes you've seen all you can see or heard all you can hear. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that is what it is. Also, I don't get the chance to see everybody because it just is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm making content. So this is not a diss, but I didn't. So when, and to be fair, that's why I asked that question on Bernard's. I wasn't really listening to the stream because I had it on mute. So with all that being said, we had like a little back and forth. It wasn't even a big deal. And, he's talking about, well, let them come, da-da-da, because I was basically saying a lot of y'all y'all want to build shit and y'all want to act like y'all don't want to put the protection mechanisms in place. Y'all just want to deal with it when it happens. And yeah, that turns out great for black men all the time. But I didn't know that he was talking about separation. And so I want to be clear here. I'm all for separation. There needs to be a separation. And I'm all for helping people to do that. And it's not about whether people are hood or not hood. It's really about values. As We Kill Dragons says, a prophet of thought, a truth says. It's really about, at the end of the day, values. And the problem is black people don't think about values. Black people don't think about culture. We just don't enough. And really, the real problem is not so much is people too street, too conservative, too like square, too hood. That's not really the problem. And this is something that didn't get addressed, and that's fine. The problem is we don't have enough. I was listening to a Love Dorsey video, and she was talking about money and all that. But the thing is, we don't act like adults. We don't. You got too many black folks that don't act like adults. And that's true for men and women. Obviously, the women get away with it more because they're women. But we know dudes that come in the presence of other dudes and they don't act like fucking adults. They don't. And this is not about anybody's conduct on that panel. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about in general. They don't act like, when you look at the areas of activity, money, let's go through it. Economics, politics, legal, media, sex, labor, religion, war, all the areas of activity, right? Education. We don't operate like adults. Now, this is not to say that everybody operates like 100%, like straight up efficiency on everything. Everybody can do better at some things. But you got folks that don't even have their basic shit together. Or even if they do, I'm not even talking about house or car. I'm just talking about even how they deal with other people. They don't. And then their ideologies is based on bullshit. It's based on them being a product of their environment. It's based on a lot of shit. And you can tell that there's not really a lot of, I don't want to say there, but there's just not a lot of shit that's been well thought out, or it's been thought out and never been really stress tested. This has nothing to do with Big Nate. I actually agree with most of what he's talking about. I'm just talking about in general. So what happens is you have people, like, I'll give you a perfect example. And like, at the end of the day, I was listening to O'Shea's video, and he was talking about the chick that got killed by her husband, white husband. And he used that as a way. A lot of dudes always, look, I ain't saying they take a dig at SYSBM, but they always try to take hits at the SYSBM philosophy. Here's the truth. We grew up with black, like I ain't gonna say we, because to a certain, I'm all for SYSBM, but I'm not necessarily on that myself necessarily. But you might as well say I am, because I'm all for keeping your options open and leveraging your power with your options. Here's my thing. We grew up with black people. The niggas that are SYSBM, we know what the fuck the black community is about. There is no, well, you haven't tried this or tried that, or you're not giving it an honest shot. We know what the shit's about. We know what it's about. This isn't some like Dynasty Mir shit where you got like these athletes that, you know, they don't have problems, but you know, from a sexual selection standpoint at all, but you know, all the women want them, but they just choose white. That's not really what's going on here. They just need to be educated and enlightened for, you know, in order for them to, you know, find their pro-blackness. That's not what's going on. We know what the black community is. We know where the stress tests are, the shatter points are. Shout out to BGS and Force Windu, RIP. There is no, well, if I just educate them enough and pressure them enough. We've dealt with the same amount of pressure like all of you all. And just because you all decided to say I'm all in no matter what the fuck motherfuckers do, and this doesn't mean that individually they operate this way, because they don't, but it's kind of like it gets sold that it's not as bad as people say. That's really what it comes down to. It's not as bad as what people say. And you're right. It's worse. It's actually a lot worse than what we actually say. YouTube limits our ability to really tell the truth about really what the fuck is going on. David Carroll is not that far off. He really isn't. And when you see certain hypocrisies and certain things, you know, it's kind of like, and again, I'm the guy that says don't go red pill for black women and only remain blue pill for non-black women. Because at the end of the day, you're black no matter who you fuck with. And that's true, and O'Shea mentioned that, and that is absolutely true. But, and this ain't about O'Shea, it's just me saying it. But I, you know, Obsidian said it, like, motherfucker, well, in order to move forward with a black community, black women gotta be involved. Well, no fucking duh. But the reality is a lot of dudes, it's like the architect. A lot of dudes will say, there are acceptable levels, there's levels of survival I'm prepared to accept. Do you really believe that most black men don't understand the racial element when they decide to date out? Some of these niggas are really that dumb and are really that fucking stupid. I will not deny that. But most of these dudes understand. Most of these dudes are not delusional. They understand the risk. They may choose to not think about it, which is on them. But they're very aware of the risk. They just choose not to think about it. They choose to hedge their bets. And is that not that much different than what black women do when they date out, or what black women do when they lie, or they hide, you know, they pretend that the shit that happens to them don't happen, or when they stay in these marriages and shit, you know, they're hedging their bets. And the reason why I even mention that is because when people talk about, now Lil Big Nate is talking about a smaller portion of the black community, like 20%, 25%. And that's definitely something that's feasible. I definitely believe that is feasible to do. I'm not really talking about him with this conversation. But my thing is, what you have is a lot of dudes that they try to project their ideology on others. And then they try to say, well, people are wrong. The truth is, and some of these dudes do this. Like Obsidian does this. O'Shea definitely does it as far as speaking truth to power. But so I'm not really talking about them, but I'm talking about others that don't. the reality is, if you want a better black community, you're going to have to fix that black bitch. And I'm just going to tell you just like it is. And if you can't, then shut the fuck up talking. If you can't fix that chick, then I don't fucking want to hear what the fuck you got to say. Most black women that don't act like a black bitch, they don't have issues getting married and cohabitating. But if you want to increase the size of the black community as far as a viable competitive community, two things have to happen. Number one, the people that deal with black people need to aggregate around each other. Obsidian mentioned that. He's absolutely right. And more black men, like, because this is another thing that doesn't get talked about. Black men love to when they get on YouTube, talk about what other niggas are doing, dick policing. But that's really, they like to dick police because they like to hide behind the fact that they're not really doing what the fuck they're supposed to do. They're not really doing their part. And obviously you got people like Gabe A and Mike V. I'm not talking about them. But we know the people. Motherfuckers that they're in submissive relationships, they're married, they're just fucking there. But they're not really doing anything. And then they think just because they put their dick in a black female and only black females and they had kids, that that's just enough as to what you have to do. No, you don't. It's all hands on fucking deck. Like straight like that. And you don't see enough. And even within black people that choose to deal with only black people, we have a fucking gynocracy and matriarchy. People are in fucking denial about that, but I don't give a fuck about how. I don't give a fuck if all black men decide to have sex with only black women. You still have a piece of shit community. That's not the problem. And that's always presented as like that is an issue, because quite frankly, you have dudes that really, they are just trying to hide the fact that all they're really doing is living life. You ain't doing nothing no fucking different than a black dude that dates out. You just live, it just happens you chose a black chick. That's it. You living life, you ain't doing nothing, you ain't really collaborating. And this is why a lot of this, and I know this is true, because too many times a lot of pro-blacks have to reach to dudes that date out for money. There's enough money in the black community that shouldn't have to happen. But it does. And then dudes would sit there and say, well, you can get his money, but you can't be a leader. I would tell some nigga, fuck you. I'll do what Dr. Dre did and give a whole bunch of money to white people just to show you how fucking stupid you are. And it also takes away a lot of pragmatism on a lot of things anyway. So, and nobody's asking to be a fucking leader either. But my thing is just shit like that. And it becomes this, yeah, man, well, at the end of the day, that's not what they're really essentially saying is that's not a real solution. It's an individual solution. It's not a macro solution if you want to have a good community. But the thing about it is, dudes know that. Dudes are not sitting here talking about, I'm going to get a non-black woman and we're going to create a beautiful black community. Some SYSBM niggas say that, but I correct them on that. But the reality is nobody's under any illusions for the most part as far as what that is. So people will sit there and say the same shit again and again as if people already don't know. Like, nobody's saying nothing you don't like. It's like, well, it's like niggas got to get their ass burnt in order to realize, oh shit, maybe this white thing ain't what it's cracked up to be. No, people know the risk. They don't care because it's the devil you don't know versus the devil you know. And the reason why I'm even saying this is because too many times people don't really want to address the thing. It always becomes, well, black men need to step up and be these superhero motherfuckers in order to get a back right. I was listening to this show, the Lapeef show, and Kevin was on there, and it's this light-skinned, like chick with regular, natural hair, but she want to act like, she the most pro-blackest person on the motherfucker, the lightest bitch in the lightest bitch there. Everybody else is dark-skinned but her. Yet she's talking the most about racism. You got two dudes that are millionaires. You got one dude that's on point. I mean, I ain't taking nothing away from him. I don't know if he's a millionaire. And then you got a brown-skinned sister. And then you got the lightest chick is like the most. I'm like, bitch, if you don't shut the fuck up. And the dudes are sitting there trying to, they look, if they're trying to do what I'm gonna start calling it fucking Anthony Mackie and the chick. They trying to, the Falcon, when he was trying to talk that girl, that flag smasher chick down, and then she was talking about, I don't care, they're robots, I'll kill them after. He was like, wow. And he was trying to, be a counselor. No, fuck that. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, you the lightest bitch. I say this as a light-skinned dude. You're the lightest bitch here complaining about racism. And you got a good head of hair. The fuck you mad about? And she ain't even ugly. She's my age, 34. What the fuck? She's sitting there like Kevin's a fucking a image consultant. This is what the fuck he does. What the fuck he built his channel for. And this is what he does as a job. And then this chick's talking about, well, are you a researcher? I'm like, if you don't shut your stupid ass, funky ass up, like for real. Like, are you, and I get it, these dudes ain't trying to make it like you're attacking women. I don't get, like O'Shea, I don't give a fuck. You talking that fucking stupid, you gonna get checked. I just can't tolerate, because again, we're adults. Nobody on that panel was under 30 years old. And you got motherfuckers that acting like they're 21 and 22. Or like teenagers. And she wasn't even like ridiculous about it, but she was real passive aggressive about it. And that really triggered me a little bit because white bitches are like that. But my point is, bringing all this back around is, a lot of these conversations, like, look, man, and Obsidian said it when he said dudes got to step up to do date black. That's true. But my thing is, really, it doesn't matter. And dudes, black men got to understand that black women have their things separate from black men. And black men got to have their things separate from black women. We don't need black women to build. We don't. We don't need them to build. And so when dudes try to say, well, you're not going to have a community without a black woman, we can get about 80%, 90% there. The only thing we really need women to do is have the kids. So we need a black womb to keep it black, which, by the way, you can export that to intercultural dating. And if you're only dealing with 20% of black people, then, I mean, you minimize that number. Appreciate that, Dollar Washer. Yeah. And so my thing is, I'm for choice, not because I want to dilute the black community. I'm for choice because at the end of the day, at the end of the damn day, the only thing that black women respect is power. And the only power black men have is choice. And a lot of y'all want to take that away because you all are afraid of being genetically annihilated. I understand why y'all think that. But the reality is, if it's a choice between that and having a gynocracy, well, goddamn it, fuck the community. The community needs to burn. Black men need to let black women know that the gynocracy is unacceptable. And if you want to basically ruin the right, because trust me, that process will be a lot more painful for black women than it will black men. Now, I get what Lil Big Nate is talking about. That's another option too. But seriously, black men need to make it very, very fucking crystal clear. Is a guy, and by the way, Obsidian did validate this. Not what I'm saying exactly, but he said when he says black women got to be involved, they got to be involved doing what the fuck they're told. Not involved on some gynocracy. I want to be fair. I want to put people, where they actually said. But yeah, man. Black men got to make that clear, and that's not clear enough. It's still too much. We need to work together, come together. Black women do what they do because of racism. No, fuck all that. Black men need to say, look, man, because even when BGS talking about black men got options. Look, at the end of the day, if you want to be like that, go ahead. You go get you a white man. Black men need to be, we need to be like, you need to go, because that attitude is unacceptable. I'm not tolerating that from you no more. Like, for fucking real. I don't give a fuck about why. I don't give a fuck about. I bet you they close. I know they close. I don't give a fuck about why. I don't give a fuck about what you dealt with in your home. I don't give a fuck about what you dealt with racism, because you ain't dealt with shit we haven't dealt with that most black men don't deal with.
Thank you for choosing Popeyes. We are.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about nothing you want to say is why you being a bitch. Period. I don't give a fuck if somebody slapped the shit out of you 5 minutes before. I don't care. And black men need to start making it very, just like how there's no excuse for a black man to just unload off of a black woman that ain't done shit to him. There's no excuse. I don't give a fuck how red pill or black pill you think you are. Yeah, I know what I'm getting. You think you are. There's no excuse. Like a nigga can't sit here and say, well, I hit bitches because that's just how I grew up. Fuck all of that. And black men need to start saying, look, I don't gotta be around you. I really don't. Maybe with the job and all of that, but where I choose to be on, because I know that one chick, her name's Kay. She was talking about, well, if you're a man and women are always acting like a bitch around you, black women, then you must be basically she was trying to go on that you must be a bitch ass nigga. You must be feminine. As if effeminate behavior triggers the bitchiness in these women. You know what, you motherfucker, that we know that's a lie, because you all can be around fucking gay black men all day, every day and not become that. Black women, so I just disproved that right there. Black women can be around gay black men all day, every fucking day, and not act like that. So we know that's not really what triggers it. You all are just, and see, that's that disingenuous shit. And black men have to really start being forceful. They have to start being direct. And when a black woman acts like, because there's one chick on there, Courtney, one woman that actually acts like a lady, and she gets treated like one. But then the females are always upset at her. And some dudes get that correlation, but they don't. But everybody doesn't. And it's like, look, dudes need to start being real forceful. You act like a bitch, you gonna get treated like one. Like for real. There's not gonna be no, well, what about this? Fuck the reasons. And dudes need to say, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you've been through, what you've had to deal with. I don't. I really don't. That credit card is maxed out. Decline. In fact, that bitch, I'm taking the credit card if you swipe it again. When the ATM, you so broke, ATM start taking your card. Anyway, so yeah. All right, so cookout it is. Yeah. And like I said, Kay is not the worst person in the world by no stretch of the imagination. Tawan is not the worst person in the world. But that's the shit that I see in real life. And that shit like gets on my fucking nerves. But anyway, but like I was saying, it's a good show. But at the end of the day, what you really have is motherfuckers are out here playing. And then they get on, they think, oh, well, nigga, you need to John Henry. It's not Alfio, you need to John Henry the shit. You need to just man up and overlift it. No, an option is to say, fuck it. That's another option too. Fuck it, I'm living my life. And a lot of dudes deal with black women and have black kids that are operating like that. Just because they got black kids with black women don't necessarily mean that they're all in on the community. Well, I mean, like, okay, that dude Anton is a very successful guy, and understand something. I do, doing. If you can make money in the restaurant industry, you got to be another individual, especially when you black. Like, so hats off. But motherfuckers are threatening people. I'd be like, bitch, if we was in Africa and you do that shit, your ass would be on the fucking floor. And I don't say that in order to say that women should get hit. I say that is because there's a reason you can do what you do. And a lot of y'all like to call that the white supremacy, but you all love to use it when you get mad. I'm gonna watch it and you say you threatening. I'm like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Some of y'all need to be fucking corrected. Like, seriously. Because the shit that comes out of your mouth is a fucking mental illness. Like, I had Bomb Cherry call my mother a crackhead bitch. Like, these women, it's no limits to what they will say if you allow them to say it. Oh, well, you're saying you should hit women. Well, bitch, I got a question. What would a woman do? Tell me that. And so because we live in a society today where if I get a woman to beat the living shit out of a female, it's okay. There's nothing really wrong with that. Even though women don't, they have no. A person that is trying to transition into a woman can play female sports. But you want to tell me, you see the fucking retarded shit when you really think about it. And to be fair, I don't hang around like the worst. Like Kay is an example of like the worst that would get with me. A woman like Tawana, I would peep that. I wouldn't be around somebody like that because I already know eventually she gonna get drunk or something gonna happen. She gonna do something. Kay is somebody like that's like maybe the furthest along that road I would be around. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't deal with women that are firecrackers because like as far as being around them because shit is gonna pop off eventually because that's who they are. Yeah, over a fucking Facebook group. And see honestly, and see what happens is Courtney, I'm gonna tell you exactly why Courtney gets the heat she gets because Courtney is seen as a pick-me. And the reality of the situation, black men need to come the fuck out and say, you know what? If women, like, we don't classify it like that, but women that are on the team are going to be over rewarded, over protected. These are the women that are going to be taken out on 3 or 4 or 5 dates without being expected to fuck because they actually are to be courted. Those are the women that's actually going to get the protection from black men. The rest of y'all, and y'all keep calling them pick me, there's going to be consequences to that. Because they are what the fuck you need to be. That's what black men need to say. And I'm tired, like, that's what I'm looking for a dude like Chicago Rilla, because he the main dude. I'm looking for him to say that. Because if you can get dudes like him on the team, then we got much bigger numbers. You say, she is how you all need to be. So understand that on this platform, you will do a better job at saying something to me than saying something to her. I'm talking about Anton and them other dudes. Because you say something to her, I'm gonna jump in. Because I know most of the reasons why you have an attitude with her is because we need to start letting people know. Just like how people say, well, Jessica X is telling people what they want to hear, black people. You know what? That's better than people making money throwing black men under the bus. Even if you say that's true, what would you rather have? Women pandering to you? Or women saying you ain't shit and making money? Make that make sense, please. Would you rather have a channel like Chrissy's, but they're on some black love stuff? Or would you rather what she does? Like, for real. It's a power dynamic. Dudes don't think about that. They don't think like that. See what the fuck I want. This fucking cookout. Look. Cookout. North Carolina. I'm chilling right now. I've been working hard today. Make sure Cash App is Allen100K, $ Allen100K. Yeah, Cookout, North Carolina, man. The South. All these other, yeah, that's why y'all see me driving all that. All these motherfuckers are closed. What's up, Jim Rat, and Unchained? Jim Rat, Sir Anthony, Dollar Washer. I'm so off that saving community. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, what's up, Charles? It's not about, nobody caring about the community, but what I'm not going to do is be pro-gynocracy. That I'm not going to do. The black community, the gynocracy is like the empire. And white supremacy is like the Sith. That's what we're under. I'm not for the empire. I'm for the republic. And a lot of y'all want to be pro the state, and y'all don't know what state y'all are supporting. Like a three-piece. The problem with Tawana is like, you can literally, I saw that when I saw Kevin's show. You can literally feel the masculine energy on her. And these women try, bless their heart, to try to contain it. Because she did. If you watch that Kevin episode, you can literally see the Sith energy bouncing back and forth. You can literally see it. My younger cousin used to call it the Harry Potter net roll. And like when Harry Potter in that snakes when the half-blooded prince, when he had like the snake speed shit, and he would do that little neck shit. That's what black women do. That's what Tawana, you can literally see it. Now Kay is a little bit more passive aggressive about it. Now Kay is shut. Sorry, Anthony, don't say that. Kay is not hideous looking. Kay is not hideous looking. Now I will say this: you can't really. She kind of has a. I don't know how she's built. She kind of has that look like she might be built or something, but she is not hideous. Like Tawana's not hideous. None of them are hideous. Like, come on now. Let's apply our terms properly. But I will say Kay has a type of look that, like, her personality moves her up and down a lot. She has like, her personality can move her up 2 points or down 2 points. Or, your personality never really moves you up 2 points, but it can definitely give you like a this plus, but it can definitely downgrade you a lot. And that's what Kevin was trying to tell her. And I haven't seen the show like that, but I've seen how Anton is trying to conduct himself. It's like again, Anton is a high value dude. He's by the definition that Kevin sets, and that's that's probably a reason why Kevin even comes to the show, because they got a good show. But you see how he's disrespected. You in a black place when they got a security guard. See, the funny thing is,
Need any sauce?
no. Appreciate it. Yeah. And so y'all gotta understand, man, when it comes to these cookouts, yo, like let's say if me and Angry Man were beefing and shit, Angry Man, like, just me showing that shit on my phone, he would probably have it's only a couple of it's a couple of them, but it's a number. You can figure out where somebody at relatively quickly. It's just a matter of, can you get there? But and shout out to Angry Man with dealing with Grandmaster Troll too. I need to throw some Cash App money on there, because quite frankly, that's what leaders, of the space are supposed to do. People always talk about, well, you say you a leader and you don't do that. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. So definitely hats off, because that's something that needs to happen. Because I'm not gonna say which YouTuber I Googled or YouTubed searched, because I was looking for your videos, but like a certain like photo came up, and I'm like, yo, that shit, yo, like, yeah, like, people, you got, and people, Grinch was talking about, he had a great stream talking about, like, dude with special needs. I don't give a fuck if these motherfuckers are special needs. I'm just gonna tell you that like that, because there's degrees to that shit, and that shit doesn't give you a license to just do anything. We're not talking about incidents. We're talking about like a year, 2 years, 3 years of bullshit. To hell with that shit. Somebody tried to tag me with that shit. a white bitch straight up. My son's special needs. I'm like, this motherfucker attacked me like twice. He attacked me twice. And then I informed the teacher, which you are not supposed, I did this in middle school, which you're not supposed to do. You know, that's against, you know, the man code. And then this motherfucker had the nerve, like some damn high school, some fucking, like a TV show. He brought the entire, damn near the entire grade to fight me. And so I fucked him up. Not bad, but I made sure he got on the, I made sure he understood what the fuck he was dealing with. And then they want to talk about suing me. I said, bitch, I got this shit. I told her just like that. And what made me so mad is my mom took like their side, because that's that gynocracy shit where, you know, it's always my fault. And I was so mad about that shit, because that was like the first legit time I got suspended. And I only got suspended because he's like, well, y'all fault. So we got, I'm like, that's bullshit. I was assaulted. You know, like, what the fuck? And I said, okay, and really, now that I'm looking back, how I would have handled that, if how I would have handled that if that was my son, I would have said, okay, if you suspend my son, I'm telling you right now, I'm suing the school, because I have concrete proof that he informed you of what was going on. She knew what was going on. She chose not to act on what's going on. So are you honestly telling me that suspending my son is worth you firing this teacher? Because I don't think she's a bad teacher. Because that teacher wasn't a bad teacher. But I'm like, so you gonna pick, because I promise you I'm gonna get paid off of this. You're gonna give me the camera, and if you delete it, that's gonna be your job. So you want to suspend him for a couple days, go ahead. He'll play Xbox or whatever, or virtual reality. You know, by the time if I have a kid, fine, they get what they get. But real talk, he didn't do nothing wrong. Well, ain't no well. The point is, your job is to protect these kids, and in order to do that, you have to define who is a competitor. Now, if it's really 50-50 on some arguing stuff, then that's cool. But this is cut clear. If this isn't crystal clear, I don't know what is. It sounds like y'all are just being lazy, and if two people get into a fight, so basically somebody can get jumped, and you all will say, well, because all y'all got in a fight, we suspending everybody. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's absolute frackernackle bullshit. Because I'm older, so I be saying old shit like that. It's bullshit. And that's what should have happened. What happened was, she came up there on some, well, it's a white man talking, so I'm going to just go ahead and listen. And then basically you just take they motherfucking side because mom talking about, oh my God. I'm like, this motherfucker is in AP English with me. You better not. You really gonna say this motherfucker is special needs in AP English? Are you fucking kidding me? And that's really what they tried to pull. They really tried to pull that shit. And she backed off the one to sue, and that's what scared my mom was when she was talking about suing somebody. I'm like, man, this white bitch is running her mouth. And I was like, God damn. She put me out for a month on that shit. That shit made me so fucking mad. That's like top 3 bullshit. Appreciate Roger. Shout out to Roger Report. But yeah, man, I'm just talking at this point. But yeah, man, my thing is, dudes we gotta stop. And women talk about, oh, you're black women are the least amount of controlled in this, like, in the world. Like, if, like, dudes, you gotta stop that. Like, I just wanna, no. Like, these dudes done built the channel. These bitches are just there. And it's like, yo, you come in here and you just gotta threatening somebody. I'm like, man, bitch, you put your hands on me, like, you, man. And like I said, that's why I make sure I don't even hang around people. That's why when dudes say you got to be able to handle a black woman, man, that means bounce her head off the wall. That's how I understand that. And I remember Lowcats used to get real mad at me. You got to crack the whip. What does that mean? Now, that just, nigga, what the fuck does that mean? Fuck that shit. You got to crack the whip. Nigga, no. Fuck that. You either gonna do it or you not. But don't say you need to crack the whip. No, fuck that. You don't do that. We know we can't hit people, especially women. So pragmatically, if they show a propensity to act like that, you are around them at your own risk. So it is your fault. You know how they are. So when you choose to engage, like for instance, honestly, that's Anton's fault. Because you're not going to tell me you can't identify Tawana as a female that would do that shit. That's Anton's fault. Like, if that shit would have really happened and some shit would have popped off, I said, dude, yeah, that's fucked up, but that's your fault, right? Nigga, what the fuck? Yeah, cause I told you about her ass. And what did you do? Nah, man, she this. Okay, whoop-de whoop, as Corey Holcomb says. Okay, cause eventually she gonna bark at your ass and bite your. Eventually that barking is gonna bite, and then you're not gonna know what to do. You reasoning with terrorists, or you're reasoning with white supremacist sympathizers. That's what you call women that may not act stupid, but they sympathize with the bullshit. You're reasoning with terrorist sympathizers now, and eventually terrorist sympathizers turn into terrorists. Y'all niggas, yeah, man, if you a man, you can handle that. No, like y'all niggas built a religion off handling women behaving badly. No, you don't. You do exactly what Kevin did. You hang up on that ass and do the doo music. That's what you do. Yeah. So a lot of y'all niggas, y'all sit with these motherfuckers at your own risk, and then what happens is when they pop off, a lot of y'all don't know what to do because you really kind of at her mercy. Because if you do anything, it's always your fault. You know what, nigga? You know what that's called? That's called checkmate. And every time you're around a chick, it shows. Once she shows you she's like that, that's check, 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 checkmate. You nigga, you ain't gonna do shit. I'll beat your ass. Da, 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 da. And then you out here looking like Jay-Z in the fucking elevator. Or you looking like Quavo. Or you going out like Deshaun Watson. Or you getting ran over by a fucking car. Bitch sound like she's saying, rice when she's saying your family. Like that's and then y'all nigga, and it's like, dude, what if the whole time you was around this bitch and you just, yeah, man. And it's different reasons. No. Oh well, you can't handle a black woman. That's why, because they do. Yeah, and you gonna do that shit over there. Anyway, I mean that's what it is. That's what it is. It's like even with Bomb Cherry. That's why I was telling Donnie. I said that shit should have never got to that point. Like where she could even say she can say some stupid shit like that to me. Calling my mom all that. I'm like, bitch, like, and it's not like this shit just happened. She was wilding out with even other females. But no, motherfuckers just let this shit happen. I'm like, no, somebody comes on my platform, and I'm serious. If somebody comes on my platform talking like that, like they won't get the opportunity. As soon as they start revving up, I'm intercepting that. I'm like, look, I'm telling you right now, this is not what we do. This is not how this shit is going. And I let people get real liberal on my platform. But if they start wilding out like that, if I see somebody revving up like that, even if they start taking little shots, I make sure I see those shots. I see those little Cold War era, we not officially in there, but we doing something bullshit. Stop it. Well, wait, no, no, no. You're an adult. You're over 30. And if you don't know, you better figure it out real quick. And we're not going to play the I need to prove something to you. And whether you deal with that and you shut that shit down. Point blank, period. And I need to do better as a host. I need to do better. Tawana's not a 7. Tawana's a 6. She's like an internal 6. Yeah, she did get flamed, and she tried to be on her best behavior so much. Tawana. Yeah, they got a good little show coming on. And the thing is, Tawana is not Courtney is not no like she don't be letting people just roll over her. It's just she not gonna become no bitch. Because people want to act stupid. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, it's been great. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace. Peace. I was gonna wait for that Mortal Kombat, but them bitches waited to delay it. Fuck you, WB. Anyway, peace out.